Dear students, welcome to computer class for grade 7. This is lecture number 2 in week 7. We are in chapter number 2, Charts in Excel 2013. In our previous class, we have learned about what is a chart and types of a chart in Excel 2013. Consider this chart. From where it came, we will see it later. But this chart shows the same date too as the table. But just by looking at the line, we can easily tell whether the student has improved with the passage of time. Let's analyze this chart. This is a line chart. A quick look will suggest that the student has improved over time. Look at the line from left to right. The line is going upward. In this chart, the upward line movements show improvement in student performance over time. In test 1, that student got 50 marks, whereas in test 10 student has secured 93 marks. It's quite easy. A chart is a pictorial representation of data. Charts make it easier for us to understand large quantities of data. They help us see the relationship between different parts of the data. Excel has several different types of charts, allowing you to choose the one that best fits your data. In order to use charts effectively, you'll need to understand how different charts are used. In addition to chart types, you'll need to understand how to read a chart. Charts contain several different elements or parts that can help you interpret the data. The different types of chart in Excel are line chart, column chart, 3D stacked chart, bar chart, scatter chart, pie chart, donut chart, area chart, radar chart, 3D surface chart. After today's class, you will be able to describe different components of the chart, and will be able to read the chart for effectively. Let us now understand the different components of the chart. Different components of charts are data tables, X-axis, Y-axis, chart title, axis title, chart area, plot area, legend, grid lines, and data label. Charts help us to quickly understand the data by plotting the data in graphs. We can present the data visually represent with charts in Excel. Here is an example chart showing the revenue and expenditure of a company in the past 5 years. The data table refers to the set of data values from which the chart is derived. A grid that appears in the chart displaying the exact data that is used to create the chart. It can only be used with a few chart types. If you are using bar charts or charts with a time scale category axis, then the data table is positioned below the chart. The x-axis is the horizontal axis of the chart. It is also known as the category axis. This is a line along which labels for the chart's categories are arranged. In column charts, the category axis is the horizontal line along the bottom. The x-axis or category axis is always the horizontal axis along the bottom of your chart. Y-axis is the vertical axis of there. It is also known as the value axis. The value of each data point is plotted on this axis. This is vertical for column charts. The y-axis or value axis is always the vertical axis, which is usually on the left of your chart. The chart title is usually placed at the top of the chart and helps the user understand what the chart represents. This can contain a summary or short description of the chart. The axis title is the title given to an axis. A 2D graph has two axes, X and Y. The 3D graph has three axes, X, Y, and Z. In all chart types except for pie and donut charts, Excel includes value and category axes by default. Chart area refers to the area within which all chart components are placed. Often, it is surrounded by a border. All charts in Excel have a chart area, which encloses all elements of the chart. Plot area is a rectangular area bounded by the two axes. The x-axis and the y-axis define the two sides of the rectangular plot area. Legend is used to identify the different data series on a chart. It identifies the data series. A unique color or pattern is assigned to each data series to make it easier to distinguish them visually. In a chart or graph in a spreadsheet program such as Microsoft Excel, the legend is often located on the right-hand side of the chart or graph and is sometimes surrounded by a border. The legend is linked to the data being graphically displayed in the plot area of the chart. Lines that run across the plot area from each category on the x-axis and from each value on the y-axis. You can choose whether to display them or not. They make it easier to identify the value of each data point on the chart. These are just extensions of the axis scale which can help make it easier to estimate the value of specific data points. These can be both horizontal and vertical. Establishing grid lines on your Microsoft Excel chart produces horizontal or vertical lines that help line up plots with a left or bottom scale. A label that provides additional information about a data point on a chart. To quickly identify a data series in a chart, you can add data labels to the data points of the chart. By default, the data labels are linked to values on the worksheet, and they update automatically when changes are made to these values. Charts in 3D have a base area, their x, y, plane, known as the floor, and vertical areas, the y, z, and x, z, planes, known as the walls. Therefore, the two walls and the floor make up the plot area in a 3D chart. In Excel 2013 there is no limit on the number of data points in a data series. This does not mean that you can have infinite data points. The number depends upon the memory of the computer. That's it for today's class. See you in the next class. Take care. Have a nice day.